Danganronpa The Animation has been an anime that I was not going to watch actually for a hot minute, and then one of my friends told me that it was based off this game Ace Attorney, and I was like, you know, I've never heard of that. But I'm still gonna give this anime a try regardless, because I was talking with him the other day and I was like, dude, you know, this anime, it's a little boring, it's a little dry, it feels like the exact same thing over and over and over again. And that's when he told me, he's like, you know, it's exactly like this old video game called Ace Attorney, where pretty much you have to go out, find your own evidence, find it, then you solve the case, and from there you're pretty much set. This anime just felt like the exact same thing over and over again for the first probably 8 to 10 episodes. The final 3 episodes are pretty good, I will give you that, but building up to that, I was just like, what am I watching right now? This makes no sense, this is very confusing. We as the audience never truly got a look inside all the clues and got to see what was happening and what was going on. All we got was the trial, and the trials, dude, oh my god, I couldn't do it. They were so bad. I get why they did it, but just the whole thing with like, oh, you're wrong, just watch this. The good thing about this anime though is it actually does address some real life problems that I feel like a lot of people will have. Despair plagues many of us throughout our lives when we have no idea where to go or what direction to take, or, you know, just after having our whole identity be questioned by others because we might not even know who we are ourselves. So by having these interactions with these other people that are telling us that we need to do this one thing or this other thing to be able to become who we are supposed to be, such as like be more humble, be more disciplined, you are stronger than you think, all these things, like those might not sound bad, but when they're coming from a place of love and maybe didn't seem like it at the time, it can set you down a place of despair because you're going to be wondering like, why have I always been like this before? And then you have to start questioning yourself prior to the events that you had due to then, and it can cause a whole lot of growth within you if you can get past that despair. However, when you look at the characters in Danganronpa, most of them, they couldn't get past the despair of what had happened when they were told that they had to kill the other people in the school. This sent most of these kids down a deep, dark despair that they thought they could get out of, that they wanted to get out of by committing these acts of intent that would either set them free or condemn them to the gates of hell. And it was something quite interesting to see because there was a few characters that I was like, these guys have a very strong will, a very strong mind, they'll be able to make it through, yet they weren't. They ended up committing the sin and killing off another one of the classmates. Didn't really make sense to me at the time, but nonetheless, it was still something that I guess they had to do. The thing you're gonna want to do is not fall into that despair. You don't want to fall into the depths of despair of not coming back from wherever you're at right now. And the best way to do that is to reflect upon whatever is coming your direction. You're going to want to learn from the despair. You're going to want to grow from the despair by asking yourself questions or just reflecting upon what has happened and what has occurred. And obviously, that's what the kids do in this series is they reflect on the despair through these cases to solve the mystery of who killed the opposite person. The thing is though, it almost brings them all down to a deeper state of despair because they don't know where they're supposed to go after that. Because once they kill somebody or identify who killed the other person, all of a sudden it's like, well, now we have to do it all over again. And everybody starts to be living in fear and they're just scared to do anything. And when we're scared to do anything in our lives, it's going to have massive effects on us. When we're scared to have human interactions with other people because we're scared of what the other person might say, or we're scared of maybe getting in an argument, that's going to start to create anxiety. The best way to get past that anxiety, past that despair, is by facing those problems head on. They don't have to be the big problems at first, but start small. You have to immerse yourself in the situation that gives you anxiety or that causes you despair. It's a theory in psychology called immersion therapy. It is one of the best things that you can do if you're struggling with any sort of mental illness, despair, anxiety, is immerse yourself in that environment. Immerse yourself fully into it, regardless of what happens, because yeah, at the beginning it's going to be scary, but as time progresses, it's going to become a lot easier. One of the things I have a feeling that most of you are very anxious about, I was anxious about it for a while too. Gotten over, you can ask all my friends this, yeah, you're probably anxious whenever you talk to new girls or whenever you talk to strangers in general, but I'm going to focus on girls. You're probably nervous and scared that they're going to reject you, that they're going to be like, yo, you're a dweeb, you're a weeb, you're annoying. They're not gonna say that. They're not gonna say any of that because nobody knows that you watch anime. Nobody knows what you do unless you tell them what you do. So approaching a stranger from the very first beginning, you're gonna wanna think about it in terms of, I'm just here to start a conversation. Doesn't matter where it goes, what happens, what I say, what she says, I'm just here to introduce myself. If you just wanna introduce yourself and walk away, do that. That's exactly what they could have done in Danganronpa as well. Like, if you saw a body, you don't wanna deal with it right then and there, then walk away, come back later with your friends and identify the case and have other people help you out in that process. You can do the same thing with girls. Like, you can at least go up to a girl, be like, hey, I'm just here just to introduce my friend. There you go. Problem solved. You just did something that probably made you anxious in the past, and now it's not going to make you anxious anymore. So that's something that you can take into consideration. I need to stop saying take into consideration. That's something that you can do that's going to help you improve and become less anxious and not go into such deep states of despair. Because there's this thing that you're going to probably realize, if you don't address these issues early, they're going to get so big to the point to where you might have a panic attack, where you might have a panic disorder, where you might not be able to even go out into the real world because you're so anxious of what could happen. I'm going to say 98% of the time, things that you expect to happen never happen. They're all in your head. Everything that really happens just goes on within your own head. So the despair that you see in Danganronpa, the animation, is all in their heads. Like, they're all causing and allowing themselves to go down into this deep state of despair. There is one character though, and one character alone, that doesn't allow himself to go down into that despair. And he is one of the characters that I think everybody should look up to. If you guys aren't looking up to Makoto, Makoto, then you have an issue. Because if you're looking up to the other people, I mean, obviously if you want to look up to Kikaguri, you can do that too, because she's a detective and I mean, she's pretty badass too. But most of these other characters, you don't want to look up to them because they sacrificed their morals and their principles and killed somebody just because somebody told them to. You have to be stronger than that. You have to be stronger than what the other person is telling you to do. You have to make your own decision. You have to do what feels right for you. If you aren't doing what feels right for you, then you're going to obviously go down a state of despair. You might murder somebody. You might then end up getting killed because somebody will figure out that you're the one that killed the person and you won't actually end up graduating high school. So there's all these things that can happen from you not following your own intuition, from not following your own guidance, your own will, your own meaning to get through this world. And you know, it's scary. It's scary to see all these people out here not living the life that they want to live because they're scared of the despair that they could go down. Wouldn't it be better to get out of that despair, to get out of the despair that could happen by doing something incredible, by doing something meaningful in your life? Like, I mean, that's why you guys watch my videos. It's to help you get out of that state of just sorrow, depression, despair, anxiety. Like, I'm here to help you guys live a normal life. I want to help you guys be able to go out and like talk to new people, get a girlfriend, like talk to strangers, start a YouTube channel, do whatever you want to do. That's what I'm here for you for. And I'm trying to do it in a way that you can relate to a favorite anime, to a favorite character that you already watch and associate with. Because the only reason we watch shows in the beginning is because we associate ourselves with that person within that certain series. So I hope that my videos can provide you into a new glimpse of what your life could be, of what you can do with your life after you get past that despair, after you get past that anxiety, after you get past those fears that you have within your own head that will actually never come true because everybody's thinking the exact same way that you're thinking. And if you change the way that you think from negative to positive, your life's gonna change. You're gonna have a lot more friends, you're gonna have a lot more going on, and you're gonna be a lot happier than you've ever been before. I was gonna say more happy. I don't think that's a word. No. No. Just give this a try, you guys. And if you do, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I just want to let you guys know that I do have a few links down below that go to Amazon pages. If you guys want to help support the channel, I get a little kickback from that. Even if you don't buy the product that you click on, it's still something that at least gives me a little bit of residuals so I can keep the channel going. As right now, the channel is still just in its infra style. It's still in its early stages, and obviously it's going to get a lot bigger. But if you guys want to start early and help me out and just let me know that you enjoy this content, I would really appreciate if you just checked out one of those links down below. If you're going to buy something on Amazon, just click that. Yeah, and you know, I hope you guys like this longer format. I'm going to be doing these longer videos for the month of May. Everybody on my Instagram page is saying that, at least in my DMs. Are like, I always ask them, I'm like, hey, how can I improve my videos? And they're like, make a little bit longer videos. So that's what I'm trying with this. If you guys like this, just please smash the like button so I know that you enjoyed this longer form content, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks.